Hi friends, it is time for an update on binge eating and how that has been going and how keto has been going, because I haven't talked to you about it for a little bit. It's too cold to be sitting here in a sports bra talking to you. Okay, so November 2nd is when I started to really focus on my binge eating as well as keto. Now, the first time that I started keto, actually the first multiple times I started keto and like this weight loss journey, it was specifically focused on just like my eating and not necessarily like doing anything with my other mental health issues. And that includes binge eating. And I know I've shared this with you guys before that I just kind of used keto foods to binge, like the Halo Top ice creams, just any of the dirty keto foods. I would still binge eat on those. So I've really been trying to focus better on that, and I really have not had an instance of binge eating. So first, let me explain what my binge eating is, because every single person's is different. For me, binge eating is, it's not necessarily just going and getting fast food. Like that to me is just a meal. However, when the binge eating comes into play and the overeating comes into play is when I am having, say we got pizza. Okay, so I got the pizza, I got my chips, and then maybe I bought a dessert. That is a meal, right? The binge eating comes in from when I cannot stop after I have eaten that meal. I go into the kitchen and I look for more desserts, or I look for more food. And I am out of control with the way that I am looking for food. I'm hyper fixating on it. And I quite literally can't stop myself from eating more food. Another thing that I do, I haven't really done as much, but in the past I have hidden food from people. And one example would be when I think I was in high school. Yeah, I was in high school and I was able to drive, so probably junior or senior year. My family, I had just come home from practice, and on my way home, I had stopped and got, I don't remember what fast food I got, but I got a fast food, I got a whole meal, right? And then my family was like, hey, let's go get dinner. I didn't tell anybody I had already eaten whatever the fast food was, like a whole meal of the fast food. I told nobody. And I was like, oh yeah, I could totally eat. I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten. And I have kind of done that before where I'm driving home and I will stop to get something. I eat it in my car and I dispose of the trash before anybody else can see. I've only done that maybe twice in the last like 2 to 3 years. I've definitely done it once in the last 6 months, and that's when I knew that I needed to really focus on this issue, and not just what I'm putting into my body, but my relationship with food as well. I have, however, in the last 6 months, talked myself out of going and getting food and hiding it probably twice a week. Like literally, I've had that urge twice a week, especially when I know that we are going to go have a non-low carb, non-keto dinner. I kind of get in this mindset of like, oh my gosh, I can just eat everything I want to and overindulge in all of this. And I can eat more if I eat without somebody knowing that I ate. So slightly embarrassing, but it happens. However, I've been really good about talking myself through it. But yeah, so November 2nd is when I started, and it is December 11th. So almost 6 weeks, or is it 6 weeks of being binge free, but still kind of struggling with the want to binge. So now let's talk about keto, because you guys know that keto is the way that I live my life the best. I've been doing much better with keto over the last week and a half, I would say. Thanksgiving week was pretty difficult for me, actually. I came down with the flu and I couldn't eat a lot of things, and the things that were settling my stomach were carbs, you know, those things that could soak up those icky feelings in my stomach. So for Thanksgiving, I did not stick to keto. I just kind of ate what I could because I didn't feel well. And that whole entire week, honestly, that's what I could do. So after Thanksgiving, I gave myself like I think 3 or 4 days to kind of reintroduce foods, still have some carbs in there, because the too much fat was kind of like, I had a steak one night and it had a lot of fat on it, and it almost made me, again. So I had to really slowly reintroduce some things, but ever since I have been doing that, I have been doing a lot better. The one thing that I have noticed that I need to be better about is planning. So I think tomorrow's vlog is going to be a cleaning and planning vlog, because this week I noticed I was kind of self-sabotaging because my kitchen is not the cleanest and I hate cooking in a dirty kitchen. So, I mean, I still stuck to keto, but it was a little bit more difficult because I hadn't planned anything. So it took a lot more thought, and it was very easy for myself to talk myself out of it. However, I didn't do that. I did a pretty darn good job of it. The next thing I want to talk about is weighing myself. I have not weighed myself since the last time I weighed myself. Just because it was messing with my head a little bit too much. I was getting very obsessed with the numbers again, and I hate doing that. I mean, I can tell that I'm feeling better. I can tell my clothes are fitting better. I don't feel as bloated. I wasn't resting my hand on my stomach while holding my phone. You know how you do that when you're holding your phone? You're just kind of resting it on your stomach. I haven't been doing that. So I've been focusing on the non-scale victories this past week specifically, just because I have not stepped on the scale. I don't know when I will, probably in January, to be honest with you. I don't think that I will step on the scale again in December, just because it was messing with my noggin, which it always does. I know it does. That's another relationship I need to work on. So yeah, that is the update so far. I have been feeling very good and very in control. This weekend specifically, my boyfriend is going to start joining me on our health journey on Monday again. And he wanted to have a few things before he started, just kind of eating a few things that he really likes that are a little bit harder to make. So I'm going to join him in that. And I actually feel super in control right now, because I've been doing well for like the last week and a half. And I feel like having these non-keto meals have really been helpful as a check-in for myself to kind of, before we go into the meal, I'm checking in with myself, seeing how I'm feeling. Maybe I need to make it low carb so that I don't go overboard. As I'm eating, I'm checking in with myself. How am I feeling? Am I overstuffing myself? Am I doing okay? And then afterwards, like giving myself a huge pat on the back, being like, you did so good. You feel really good right now. You're not up in the kitchen searching for more food. You're not trying to think of ways to go hide something. Those are also some victories that I've been celebrating this week. And I just had to share that with you guys because, I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good with binge eating and keto and everything. So I hope that this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. And I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 12. Bye.